Hello, guys, and welcome back. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most amazing phenomena in nature bioluminescence. I know that's a big word. Bioluminescence is the ability of living things to make their own light. It appears in the ocean, in forests, and even in insects like fireflies. This natural glow helps organisms survive in many different ways, from hiding from predators to attracting mates or luring prey. To help us explore this glowing world, I've asked a friend of mine, Lawrence, a lanternfish from the deep sea, to help us through it. Now, through Lawrence's story, we'll discover how living light works and why it's so important in nature. So, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Miss Bree, educator, farmer, illustrator, singer, and grammar nerd. Whoop! And we're not meeting Lawrence yet. So, welcome to the farm school. And remember, today we're meeting Lawrence, and I'm going to turn it over to him now. Hello there. My name is Lawrence, and I am a lanternfish, one of the many creatures that glow in the deep ocean. Down where I live, sunlight barely reaches, or does not reach at all. In this dark world, light can mean the difference between life and death. That is why bioluminescence is so important to animals like me. And that's why when Miss Bree asked if I'd talk to you guys, I said I would. So come with me into my world. Far below the ocean's surface, sunlight fades away until everything becomes dark. But this darkness is not empty. Tiny glowing plankton drift through the water. Jellyfish pulse with soft light. Strange fish flash and shimmer as they move. Each day, many deep sea creatures travel upward at night to feed, then return to deeper waters by day. This is called vertical migration because we're going up and down, not left to right or right to left. And it helps to shape life in the ocean. In a place like this, bioluminescence is not rare at all. It's just part of everyday life. So, what is bioluminescence? That's a good question. Bioluminescence is living light. It happens when special chemicals inside a living thing, like me, react and release energy as visible light. So instead of like a light bulb, for instance, which Miss Bree says you guys use to create light, that uses electricity. Bioluminescence, like me, is powered by chemistry inside my body or any other organism. It's pretty cool. Now, most bioluminescent light comes from a partnership between two important substances. The first is luciferin, the molecule that helps create light. The second is luciferase, an enzyme that speeds up the reaction. When these work together, often with oxygen, they produce light. When luciferin reacts, it becomes energized and enters what scientists call an excited state. You know, when you're really excited and you're kind of jumping up and down and like wiggly, that's what the luciferin is doing, right? It gets so excited that it's like, oh my gosh, and it goes so fast that it creates light. It's crazy. As it returns to normal, it releases that extra energy as light. Some organisms also need special helpers, like calcium, magnesium, or ATP, to make the reaction happen. It's pretty cool. Now, not every glowing creature uses exactly the same chemistry, right? Like I use a different chemistry than my firefly friends. Yeah. Now, different species have developed different ways to produce light. One very common glowing molecule is called coenterazine, and it appears in many kinds of marine life. This shows how many different paths evolution can take. Some organisms make their own light directly. This is called autogenic bioluminescence. I know we're covering a lot of really big words in this presentation, guys, and it's really okay if you don't learn them all right now. but this will at least give you an introduction to them. Others depend on glowing bacteria living inside their bodies. This is called bacteriogenic bioluminescence. So you see how that works? You have the autogenic bioluminescence. Auto means automatic, right? It does it itself. Bacteriogenic depends on glowing bacteria. That's right. So in those partnerships, both organisms benefit. Bioluminescence appears in many forms of life. It glows in the deep sea, flickers in fireflies, shines in fungi, and sparkles in tiny ocean plankton. Even though these organisms are very different from one another, they all have found ways to use light to survive. Now, the ocean is probably where bioluminescence truly shines. I am a little bit partial, but I think it's true. In deep waters where sunlight disappears, glowing becomes extremely useful. In fact, many animals living in the deep sea can produce light in some way. That is why the deep ocean is often called a world of living lights. Now let's talk about the pelagic and benthic zones. In the pelagic zone, animals swim through open water, often surrounded by darkness. That makes bioluminescence especially useful for finding food, communicating, or hiding. Now, near the seafloor, in the benthic zone, glowing is less common, and scientists are still learning more about it. Sometimes glowing light is used as a defense. A sudden flash can surprise a predator, right? Imagine if somebody took a flash photo of you in the middle of the night, you'd go, woof! That's right. So some creatures release glowing material into the waters to confuse attackers and escape. Still others use light to draw attention to a predator, making that predator more likely to get attacked by something even bigger. Another clever use of light is called counter-illumination, or camouflage. So if a predator looks up from below, it might see a dark animal's shadow against the faint light from above. But if the animal glows on its belly just the right amount, it blends in and becomes harder for the predator to see. That is how camouflage can be made from light. Now, light can also help a predator hunt. Some deep-sea fish use glowing body parts to attract smaller animals, almost like a fishing lure. I have a friend who's an anglerfish who does this. Unsuspecting prey come closer, and suddenly, poof, their dinner. And lastly, light is also a way to send messages. Some animals flash patterns to attract mates or identify others of their own kind. In dark environments, glowing can be like a secret language. Many famous glowing creatures exist, like fireflies who flash in the air. Dinoflagellates can make ocean waves sparkle. Anglerfish use glowing lures, and firefly squid use counter-illumination. And of course, fish like me, lanternfish, light the deep. Sometimes bioluminescence is so widespread that whole stretches of ocean can glow. Tiny dinoflagellates can make waves sparkle blue at night. Bioluminescent bacteria can even create the mysterious Milky Seas effect, where vast areas of ocean appear softly illuminated. Humans have wondered about glowing life for a very long time. Ancient thinkers like Aristotle and Pliny the Elder described glowing organisms such as damp wood and fish. For centuries, people watched these strange lights before they understood how they worked. Over time, scientists began uncovering the secrets of bioluminescence. Robert Boyle showed that some glowing organisms needed air. Later, Osamu Shimomura isolated important glowing molecules like aquarin and coal and terrazine. These discoveries helped scientists understand how living light works. Today, glowing biology is useful far beyond the ocean. Scientists use luciferase and related glowing systems to study cells, genes, and diseases. Bioluminescent tools help researchers watch what is happening inside living organisms. That means the natural light of creatures like me helps humans make important discoveries. One famous glowing discovery is green fluorescent protein, or GFP. Although fluorescence is slightly different from bioluminescence, GFP became a powerful scientific tool for making cells visible during experiments. Now, because of this work, scientists gained the new ways to study life itself. One of the most amazing facts about bioluminescence to me is that it evolved again and again. Different groups of organisms developed light-making abilities independently. That means glowing was so useful that evolution invented it several times. Bioluminescence lasts because it works. If glowing helps an organism hide, hunt, or reproduce, then that trait can be passed on, and over time, light becomes part of survival itself. Even though most bioluminescence is found in the ocean, some glowing life exists on land too. Fireflies are probably the most famous, obviously, but even certain fungi like mushrooms glow in forests, and a few rare land animals like snails can produce light as well. Bioluminescence may help shape the future. Researchers are still exploring glowing plants, medical tools, and new ways to monitor environments. Nature's light may one day help solve human problems in creative ways. If you remember one thing, remember this. Bioluminescence is not just beautiful, it is useful, powerful, and deeply important in nature. From tiny plankton to deep sea fish, living things use light in extraordinary ways. All right, I gotta go back into my ocean land, but I'm gonna let Miss Bree finish up. It was nice to meet you all. Okay, thanks, Lawrence. So thank you guys for exploring bioluminescence with Lawrence the Lanternfish. This glowing phenomenon shows how chemistry, evolution, and ecology come together in remarkable ways. Bioluminescence helps organisms survive, communicate, hunt, and hide. It also helps scientists study new life in new and exciting ways. And as Lawrence reminded us, some of the most extraordinary wonders on Earth are shining quietly in the dark. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one.